My name is Dillinger. I was homeless for 3 years. It was okay. Before COVID, we lived well, had a 3-bedroom apartment, and we just had our son. During COVID, I got laid off. A lot of businesses were shut down. Then my kids would have to sleep on the streets, and then I wouldn't be able to provide for them. That's my biggest fear. And I'm just grateful that they didn't. It really affected my mental health. I was stressed out and exhausted. Me and the wife, we took jobs and we worked continuously to afford hotel rooms. So I was irritable, sad all the time. Yeah, for sure. A lot of people looked at me like I was a drug user, that I was lazy, and I was a bad father. In fact, a man one time told me, he said, "Son, you're a bad father having your kids living in hotel rooms." It's heartbreaking. Probably about 50-50. Like, some people were just straight bad, they treated us poorly. But some people, would go out of their way to help us. They would offer us food and clothing for our kids and would treat us well. Yeah, I can. There were times that when we were seeking assistance to find housing where people would say that they would help us and we'd never hear from them again. And it made me feel less than human, like a dog, or worthless, worthless in another man's eyes, and it's not a good way to feel. My wife, her strength and love and support, and the love of my family gave me the strength I needed to pull us back and get us in the right position in life. We tried a couple of different places, and they just brushed us off. And then through a lady at my kids' school, she helped us out with community connections. We were offered some school supplies for our kids. They gave us clothing. They offered us food assistance, but we had no way to cook it. A lot of the stuff that they were offering. Yes. After a while, we were finally able to start saving money and, struggling hard, but still putting up money until we could build ourselves up from the ground up, essentially. Felt real good. Knowing that my kids were safe, we felt, it was amazing, knowing that we were doing what we needed to do was a real relief. Safety for me while we were living on the streets was just mostly about safety for my kids and having to worry about them having to wake up in the middle of the night to move, or having to worry about them being taken from us. Safety, like, my kids feel safe. They don't have to worry about really anything. It's real safe. Nah, I really don't think the public does. They see the tents, but most people probably think that it's just laziness, when really most of it is just most of it's mental illness. That's a good question. I think that most people don't realize how real of a thing homelessness is, and it could happen to them. A lot of the resources that we were told were available, like Homes for Good. Homes for Good had like a 3-year waiting list, 4-year waiting list. But like I said, reach out. There's people you can talk to, there's people you can call. There's missions. You could go to your church. I would like to thank them. You know, there's a couple people who went above and beyond for us. The churches, you can go to most of these churches around here and ask for help, and they will help you. Okay? But it's one of those things where if you seek help, you have to be able to also help yourselves. So the help is there. Ask for it. Find it and let them help you.